All right, let's talk about something that might just be one of the most important pieces of paper you ever get from a doctor. Seriously, it's your personal guide to a safe recovery after a hospital stay. And trust me, understanding it is absolutely crucial. So let's break it down.
So just think about it for a second. What's the most crucial moment of a hospital stay? Is it, getting the diagnosis, the surgery, that moment you finally get some answers? And yeah, all of those are incredibly important. Of course they are. But what if I told you the most critical part is something else entirely?
That's right. It's the moment you're discharged and you walk out those doors. I mean, think about it. It is the official handoff from round-the-clock professional care back to, well, you. And that transition, it can be surprisingly risky if it's not handled just right.
And that brings us to what we can call the post-hospital blind spot. It's that tricky period of time when you're going from being a patient in a hospital bed to just being a person recovering back at home.
I mean, just picture that shift for a second. You go from having nurses and doctors just a call button away to suddenly managing your own medications, your diet, your activity levels. This information gap can leave you feeling super uncertain, and more importantly, it can lead to real confusion, mistakes, and even setbacks in your recovery.
So how do we bridge that gap? How do we navigate that blind spot safely? Well, luckily, there's a specific tool designed for exactly this purpose. Think of it as your personal roadmap to recovery.
It's called the Discharge Summary. And no, it's not just a receipt for your hospital stay. It is a vital document. Its whole job is to translate everything that happened inside the hospital into a clear, actionable plan for exactly what you need to do to get better at home. This quote right here gets to the absolute core of it. Officially, its purpose is to ensure effective communication between hospital and outpatient care teams. In plain English, it's the bridge that connects the hospital doctors to your family doctor, to your specialists, and most importantly, to you. It's what stops crucial information and your health from falling through the cracks.
Okay, so what does a good discharge summary actually look like? What's in it? It's not just some random collection of notes, that's for sure. It has a very specific structure, and it's all designed to give a complete picture of your health journey.
A really solid summary has 5 key parts. First, the basics, your patient info. Then, the hospital course. Think of it like the short story of why you were there and what happened. Next up, a detailed list of all the treatments you got. That's followed by your condition at discharge, basically a snapshot of your health the moment you walked out. And finally, the big one, the most important part for you, the follow-up instructions.
Yeah, let's zoom in on this last part for a second. Because while the whole document is important for all your doctors to be on the same page, this section, this is your personal action plan. This is the part that tells you exactly what you need to do next to stay safe and keep that recovery going strong.
And when you look at it, this plan needs to be crystal clear. It has to list the exact medications and, this is key, the doses you need to take. It should spell out any specific rules for your diet or activity. It's got to tell you about any follow-up appointments. And critically, it must outline the specific warning signs you need to watch for, the symptoms that mean you need to call a doctor right away.
Now, having all the right information, that's only half the battle. How that information is communicated, the language it uses, is just as important for your safety and for your understanding.
I mean, just look at the difference here. It is night and day, right? On one side, you've got the medical jargon, ambulate PRN, continued TID regimen. I mean, what does that even mean to most of us? But on the other side, plain language, walk as needed, take 1 pill 3 times per day. See? One of these is a recipe for confusion, the other is a recipe for a safe recovery.
And this hits on a really important idea. A well-written summary knows its audience. It should have a version with simple, totally understandable language for you and your family, and then maybe a more technical, detailed version for your other doctors. Both have to be accurate, but they sure don't need to be identical.
Okay, so we know what a good summary looks like. Now, let's flip it. Let's talk about the pitfalls. What are the common mistakes that can turn that helpful roadmap into a really dangerous handoff?
All right, here are the red flags to watch for. If the instructions seem kind of vague or ambiguous, that is a problem. If information is totally missing, like, say, the dose for a new medication, that's a huge red flag. And like we just talked about, if it's packed with jargon you don't get, or if it fails to list those specific warning signs, then it is not doing its job.
So here's the bottom line. Your discharge summary isn't just a formality, it is a critical safety tool. A summary that is clear, that is precise, and that is complete is absolutely essential for preventing errors and making sure you get the right care to recover safely.
So, what can you do? Be your own advocate. If you see those red flags, speak up. Ask the nurse or doctor to walk you through the instructions. If there's a term that's confusing, ask them to explain it in plain language. Double-check your medication doses and schedules. Make sure you know exactly who to call if something feels off. So the next time you or a loved one is leaving the hospital, will you ask to read your roadmap?